Hi, my name is Lee Heron. I'm a personal injury lawyer here in Florence, South Carolina. And the name of this video is the 3 words that will scare any insurance company. Before we get into this story, I just want to let you know this is a real incident with a real client, and she wanted me to tell you about what happened because she doesn't want what happened to her to happen to you. So here's what we got. Her husband was in a tragic ATV accident, and unfortunately he passed away as a result of that accident. He had a $25,000 life insurance policy with an insurance company. But in addition to that life insurance policy, they had what's known as a $25,000 accidental death benefit. It just means if you die in an accident, they'll pay you an additional $25,000 if it's not of natural causes. So after she sent them the death certificate, they paid her $25,000. Well, she was smart enough to look at her policy, and she sees this other $25,000 in accidental death benefit. Now keep in mind, on the death certificate, the cause of death is listed as ATV accident. Accident. Right there in the word. You got accidental death benefit. You would think that'd be a pretty simple matter for her to get that $25,000. But here's what happened. She sends them the death certificate, and they pay her $25,000 life insurance. And then they say, well, we need to look into the accidental death benefit. It's kind of confusing to her because on the death certificate it says ATV accident. So they give her the runaround. They call her, and they want her to provide a toxicology report on her dead husband. Well, there was no toxicology report done because it was an ATV accident and he was dead on the scene. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why would they want a toxicology report? And here's why. In every insurance policy, car insurance, life insurance, whatever insurance policy, homeowners insurance, there are a list of exclusions. And exclusions means this. That means they will provide coverage for you for A, B, and C, and D. But if D, E, F, G happens, then they don't have to pay. Now, in this accidental death benefit policy, it was listed that if the person dies while under the influence of alcohol or under the influence of drugs, then they do not have to pay out that $25,000 accidental death benefit. That's what's in there. So by them asking her to provide a toxicology report, they were looking for a reason to deny sending her the $25,000. Well, she tells them there was no toxicology report done. And in addition to that, she sends them the police report. And in the police report, it says ATV accident, a gentleman found dead in the woods as a result of the ATV accidents. So she sent them the death certificate, says ATV accident. She sent them the police report, says ATV accident. And they still give her the runaround. Well, she gets tired of getting the runaround and she comes to see me. Well, she tells me the story just like I told you. I looked at the death certificate, I see ATV accident. I look at the police report, I see ATV accident. She tells me they want a toxicology report, there was none done. There was simply no reason for them to give her the runaround. And the sad thing about it is for 15 years, she had her premium drafted out of her account every month on the month, like clockwork. So for 15 years, that insurance company got their money when they wanted their money. So when this lady asked them to pay the $25,000 in accidental death benefits, and they started giving her a runaround, well, what I did is I wrote them a letter, and I said, you have 10 days to pay my lady her $25,000. And if you don't pay her the $25,000 in 10 days, we're going to file a bad faith lawsuit against you. And a bad faith lawsuit is this. And first of all, those are the 3 words that scare the death out of an insurance company, and here's why. Juries hate insurance companies because as I've told you the story, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, there was no reason for this insurance company to treat this lady that way. And you are absolutely correct. And if they did not pay that lady her money, we were going to file a bad faith lawsuit against them. And a jury would hear the same story you just heard, and I would ask the jury to not only give this lady her $25,000, but I would ask the jury to award punitive damages against that insurance company for how they treated that lady. And you know what the jury probably would have done? They probably would have taken that $25,000 and they might have moved a comma around. they might have said, okay, we see what the insurance company did. We're going to add a zero and we're going to move the comma. We'll give that lady not only her $25,000, but we'll award her $250,000 in punitive damages. And it could have been a lot more than that. Insurance companies know about bad faith lawsuits, and the reason they know about bad faith lawsuits is they get sued for bad faith all the time. If you want an example, just Google bad faith lawsuits. Here's one. Here's one. You want another? There's another. How about one more? There's one. Okay, one more. There's one. And some of you might be asking, why do insurance companies do this? And it's a very simple answer. It's about money. It's about money. Because the longer they can hold on to your money that should be paid to you, the longer they can invest that money in stocks and bonds and make money for them. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Lee, this was only $25,000. And I say, yep, this was only $25,000. But what if they did $25,000? They didn't pay out $25,000 to 100 people just like her. Do the math on that. So that number adds up to a big number. And that big number is money that they can invest to make more money for them. So it's in their best interest to give you the runaround. So before you let something like that happen to you, go see a lawyer. We know about this stuff. We can threaten them with bad faith lawsuits. We can get them on the phone because they gave that lady a runaround for months. After I sent them that letter gave them 10 days, after they got my letter, they called me back within 10 hours and they said, we apologize, we're going to send you the money. And they FedExed that thing overnight. They FedExed the check overnight because they knew they were wrong and they knew if they didn't pay this lady, we were going to go after them. So again, if something like that happens to you, don't let yourself be taken advantage of or be given the runaround from an insurance company. Come see a lawyer and we'll make sure that they do what's right. Well, that's the end of the video, and you know what I'm about to say. Personal injury lawyers like me are everywhere. But the thing that separates me from most personal injury lawyers is ever since I became a lawyer, one of the last things I do before a client leaves my office, I take out my business card. On the back of that business card, I write down my personal cell phone number. Give it to the client and say, look, if you ever have any problems, if you ever have any questions, feel free to call or text me at any time. Shouldn't your personal injury case get that kind of personal attention? If you've been involved in any kind of accident, give me a call at 888-9REC-9. It's a free consultation. If we don't get anything, you don't know anything. So give me a call at 888-9REC-9 and I'll make sure your personal injury case gets the personal attention it deserves.